Do these car talks look scripted to you? I sure hope not, because if they are, I'm doing a terrible job at writing my scripts, or at least reading back my scripts. But what does that have to do with anything? Well, today I want to talk about the power of winging it. I am probably an expert at winging things, because it's a skill that I have accumulated throughout the years of trying to almost battle my true nature. And I know it's a true nature of a lot of tech folk, because we're all kind of that left brain engineer mindset, and we all want to plan out everything, because we feel like, well, we're terrible at winging it. Whenever you write, speak at a conference or a user group or something like that in front of a bunch of people, you think, I have to script everything. I have to script my slides. I have to script my, my demos. I have to, practice. I have to practice all these, all this work to get everything exactly down to the exact word that you want to do. Now, that's good in one facet, because you have to, you're going to get the result that you're wanting to get immediately. But sometimes, if you don't do it quite correctly, which is really, really hard to make a scripted, some kind of scripted content, some kind of scripted presentation, make it act like make you act like you're just coming off the cuff. But what that does is that makes things boring. I mean, the content is you kind of, if you're reading from a script, or you're just saying things from memory, it makes things extremely boring, and it makes things very not one-sided, but very narrow in what you can do. Let's say that somebody asks you a question, or something happens unexpected in the background, your mic doesn't work, or something like that. That's going to totally screw you up, and then you're going to have to be rewinding back in your head, okay, where was I at in the script? And if you're like me, I tried this for a while, and if you're like me, you just totally screw up, and I have no idea where I was, and then that you can tell that you are that you were like that. That you were reading from a script in your head. Sometimes you're not actually physically reading from a script, but that turns into it's a bad experience, because people know that you're not you don't feel as genuine or sincere as what you were if you were just kind of winging it. So winging it allows you to be a little bit more dynamic about things. You can just roll with the punches on a lot of things. So right now, like doing this car talks thing, I think to myself, well, what am I going to talk about today? I don't know. I'll take maybe 5 minutes to kind of run through some just brief points in my head, and then I hope that I can remember them whenever I turn on the camera. Because if I don't, I will just try to come up with things in my head, and just as I'm talking, I'm thinking of more ideas. So. And this hasn't come from just because I'm blessed with being able to come up with an idea, talk about the idea, and kind of cue up something in my head as I'm talking along. That skill, I'm still not great at it by any means, but that skill hasn't came naturally to me. How I kind of built that up is being able to do stuff like this, to do car talk, to be comfortable enough. And just saying, you know what, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get on this camera, or I'm going to do a talk or something, and I'm not going to know everything, and I'm okay with that, because I know it's a muscle that I need to develop in my head to be able to kind of roll with the punches. You kind of cue off of different things in your talking. So as I'm talking, I'm listening to myself at the same time. This is one of the big things about winging it, which I tend to do, which I never really thought about before, but I really do this all the time. As I'm talking about a particular subject, whether this is in even writing, even things not even in live content, live audio or video, even in writing, I'm constantly thinking of the next thing. As I write a topic or a subject, that'll immediately key off another idea in your head, and then I can just go off of that one. That immediately keys off another idea in my head. Nope, let me fix that here. But that's the difference between writing and like live video like this, because writing, you have the ability to backspace, edit, make it perfect. In video, you have editing, but I think there's a certain flair, I guess, about this kind of video, because it's off the cuff. It's not edited by any means, and I think people really appreciate the kind of the live nature of things. And I think a lot of more people should do this. And I'm glad that I've seen a couple more Car Talks videos of people kind of doing this, because what that does is I think people appreciate to see you as a person. And if you're an IT pro, people want to see your stuff. People want to get some content and some want to learn some things. I think everybody has something to share. But that also is great. But what's also important to you is you're giving back to someone else. But at the same time, you're getting practice in these sort of things. You're getting, as I'm talking with you, my brain is constantly learning what is the best thing to do. Sometimes I go back and watch these videos and I think, oh yeah, I probably should have done that, or I need to kind of transition that here, or my mic. Hopefully, I'm not scraping it this time. But there's a lot of different things that you learn, and you take those skills that you learn from just something like this, something that I take 5-10 minutes a day to do, to talk about whatever's on my mind, whatever I think would help others. And that's helping me. That helps me gain more confidence in the content that I produce, or speaking engagements, or even with socializing with other people at conferences. Just being able to get out and socialize more, it gives me more. I'm more confident. Going back to that self-confidence YouTube video that I did, a few days ago. Should be in the Car Talks playlist on YouTube. But it goes back to that thing. It's at first, it's scary. I mean, honestly, it's scary. As an introvert, I was very hesitant to do one of my first video. I've been hesitant to do speaking engagements. I've backed out of at least 2 because I've literally had a panic attack beforehand, and I've decided there's no way I can do this because I'm having a panic attack. I sign up for it, then I chicken out, then I have a panic attack. I can't do it. So, but what it does is just practice makes perfect. As you get more comfortable with it, you don't have to do live video. These videos aren't live. I record them, but they allow you to get more confident with things. They allow you to to get more used to hearing yourself talk, and to just kind of hearing your thought pattern in your head as it runs through your head, and how you kind of key off of those ideas like that. This winging it concept, it works not only in in conference talks or videos like this, but it works in all kinds of situations. It works in I can even see how this skill of winging it, you can even do that in code as well. With the whole agile software methodology in DevOps, it's all about MVP, the minimum viable product. It's all about delivering value to customers faster and iterating off of that. It's exactly the same way here. It's about delivering an imperfect product, just like I'm doing here, and then iterating off of that. Now, I guess I could go back and edit these things, but how I kind of relate that to to this concept of doing car talks and videos and winging it is that as I go through these things, and the next one I'm getting better, the next one I'm getting a little bit better, the next one I'm getting a little bit better. And once you do it more and more and more and more, you eventually get to where, I'm still not completely comfortable doing these car talk videos, to be completely honest with you, but I feel myself wanting to do them more because I've been getting some feedback, some comments and things about how they really help people, and that's very inspiring. And also, as I do them more, I can see that I'm thinking a little bit differently. It's really hard to put my finger on, but this act of doing something that I'm not comfortable with, without a plan at all in my head, and hearing my dumb self talking about, rambling about things. We all hate to hear what our voices sound like. I hear what my voice sounds like every single day. Eventually you just get used to it. Like, yep, that's me. I accept it and live it, or take it or leave it, sort of thing. That's kind of how I am now. I can't change my voice. Sometimes I think that I sound like Kermit. I kind of have that. If you've seen that Little People Big World show, that Matt Roloff, I think I kind of sound like that. I kind of sound like, I kind of have that nasally sound. I think I sound like that, and it bothered me at first, but honestly, that's me. I really don't care anymore. I guess I could change it and, change myself, but I'm not going to change myself for someone else. But anyway, that's kind of my rambling on of this, learning how to wing it and what that just general skill of winging it does. I challenge you to the next do a car talk like this on your YouTube channel. Please share it with me, and I'll share it with other people. Do a user group presentation. Do some kind of conference talk, some kind of breakout session, or maybe a lightning talk or something. Just get used to get used to winging it. Get used to just doing things that you're uncomfortable with without a script. Do a screencast on showing people how to, do something with PowerShell or do something in tech without a script. Just fire up your screen recorder and put on your microphone and just go through it. No plan whatsoever. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be great at first, but you did it, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So that's kind of the name of the game: continuous improvement. Keep doing it until you get better, and once you do, you'll just keep seeing better things come your way. Thanks again.